Okay, the third budgetary policy initiative we're going to be looking at is research and development grants. So basically, research and development is the government provides a certain amount of funding in grants every year for a range of different research and development programs. So research and development is conducted in the health industry, in universities, and in a whole range of other industries, including technological industries, with the aim of trying to improve our knowledge and improving our use of technology in the production process. So the government is aiming to improve the quality of our capital and also our human resources, so finding better ways to utilise staff and utilise labour to try and improve both our technical and dynamic efficiency. And the overall aim of that is by boosting efficiency, we can lift our productive capacity and boost our real GDP. So the government will provide grants, direct cash assistance for a lot of policies related to research and development. They'll also provide tax concessions, which we'll talk about in another video, which to ensure that an ideal amount of research and development is taking place. So they aim to achieve an efficient allocation of resources by investing a lot of money into research and development so that we can become more dynamically and technically efficient. Research and development is crucial in ensuring that businesses are continually meeting the needs of consumers, and they're critical in ensuring that we remain competitive. So in a dynamic environment, we need to be consistently on the go, we need to be consistently thinking of better ways to produce, and we can only do this via research and development. So particularly high-tech companies will spend a good portion of their revenue, generally over 10 to 15%, to try and keep up to date with current practices. That's particularly important in like software and high-tech companies because their workforce is consistently changing. The idea of research and development is to contribute to technological advances and to help contribute to new ways of producing that are ultimately going to boost the nation's supply potential and improve our use of the quantity and quality of our resources. So in the 2016-17 federal budget, the government provided around $9.8 billion in funding, and around $6.5 billion of that went to the CSIRO, with the other $3.2 billion just going to the private sector. Unfortunately, because of government constraints and fiscal consolidation and trying to get back to surplus, research and development spending is one of the areas that has suffered, with spending going down from around 0.66 to 0.56% of our GDP. Okay, the last thing we're going to look at in this video is the difference between research and development. So when you hear the word research, we're talking about the money and time spent on investigating and discovering new ways to produce products. So the idea of research is to find and discover and investigate better ways to make goods and services. So improve ways of producing products and more efficient ways of distributing products to consumers. It involves exploring an idea to see if it would be viable. So research is all about exploring an idea to see if it's going to be worth implementing into the business. It's about using money and resources to develop new technologies to discover whether they're going to be viable in the production process. So money and time spent by businesses to investigate new or better products, better ways to produce, and more efficient ways of producing distributing goods to their consumers. Development, so research is about investigating about the new technology. Development is about spending money to build on the research that we've already undertaken. So once we've decided that the investment is viable, so for example, Apple and Microsoft spend millions of dollars on new technologies to see which are viable. After they've done that, some of them will be, after the research phase, they may stop working on their research if the project is not viable. If the project is viable, they will start to develop the research into something of value for the business. So they'll actually contribute to actually include these new policies into their production process. So developing the idea that's been done so that we can implement it into our production process. We might think of improvements to the existing product range or completely new products that we're going to bring into our business that will help us to develop and grow. So development involves spending money to build on the research that's been undertaken. Actually implementing that, once we've decided the project is viable, starting to develop the idea into something that we're going to use within the business. Whether that be changes in production, improvements in the product range, completely new products, for example. Research and development is really important because as technological change continues to develop at a faster and faster rate, firms need to be up to date to ensure that they're up to date with their competitors so they can remain competitive. Businesses involved in manufacturing, computer hardware, computer software often spend over 10% of their revenue on research and development. Okay, it's important in these areas because it's very dynamic industries. And even the pharmaceutical industry, they spend over 15% in order to make sure they're on top of any new sort of drugs or pharmaceuticals that can be explored by the market. Research and development is risky because there's no guarantee the millions of dollars the companies spend will actually provide benefits to the business in terms of better products or more efficient methods of production. So some investment fails to get any return, sort of breaks down at the research phase. The other problem with research and development, partly it's risky, and partly some other companies can copy new innovations, so they may benefit from your research and development without actually doing any of the work. That's two reasons why research and development is underallocated. It's risky and there's no guarantee of success, and secondly, rival companies may steal your ideas going forward. Thank you.